Welcome. In this session, we will talk about some of the major developments in down to earth that have been discussed. So, the first one is talking about the seed bank. So, the idea is to preserve the native indigenous variety of seeds and ensure that these seeds are used in the local areas. So, this effort has been done in the regions of Kolhapur and Maharashtra, where the village people have tried to ensure that the local leaf varieties are preserved through the Patil Deshi Beej Bank, and this beej bank would actually store nearly 50 different varieties of indigenous food grains and vegetables. So this is one effort which has been done at the local level. The second major thing that we would understand in this edition is the development under the World Meteorological Organization and European Union Copernicus Climate Change Service, which is the C3S. Now they have predicted that for 2024 we ought to have temperatures higher than pre-industrial period. For 2023 the range was 1.48 degrees Celsius, and this year it is estimated that it would go beyond 1.5 degrees Celsius of pre-industrial level, which was considered as a benchmark. Now with this benchmark exceeding, we have also seen that the ocean temperatures are at their ever highest, reaching nearly 20 degrees Celsius, the second warmest since the pre-industrial era. Also, there have been, because of these rising episodes of hurricanes, floods and cyclones which are striking in the Indian Ocean region. There have been extreme weather events which has led to a huge death toll of nearly 3,000 people, which is an increase of nearly 18% since 2022. So again, those figures are at its extreme. The next was recently Cyclone Dana had hit the coast of West Bengal and Odisha. Now, two major international forecasting models have been integrated to talk about this conflicting prediction which was done. Now, what happened was there was a more accurate landfall prediction which was done by Doppler weather radar systems at Paradeep and Gopalpura ports, and this was done through the satellite data. However, the IMD's predictions were inaccurate, and the forecasted rainfall for Odisha was more than West Bengal, which was just the opposite that had occurred actually. Now, these things had actually brought in a question about why things had happened in such a way, and the results had shown that even after the landfall, before and after, there were unusual patterns which were witnessed, and that were mainly because of two extreme anticyclonic depressions which have developed in the nearby vicinities, which had affected the modeling and the forecasting in the region. The next is the ocean heat data. Now, tropical cyclones have a heat potential which can go up to 700 to 1000 meters, and the likelihood of rapid intensification in a tropical cyclone occurs when the wind speed increases by more than 55 kilometers per hour. So there have been various tools for prediction of cyclones. Some of those includes wind recorders, satellites, buoys, Doppler radar systems. There are also limited capacity coverage of the buoys. For example, Omni and Rama are two of them which actually lack the coverage, and there have been various losses which have been caused. The next is the collective pledge by the nations to reduce the annual emissions. Now, the collective pledge talks about reducing the annual emissions by 42% by 2030 and 57% by 2035. Also, the nationally determined contribution, the NDCs, pertain to February 2025. There have been various actions taken for it. The cut for the annual greenhouse gas emissions targets to 42% by 2030 and decrease of annual gas emissions by 28% by 2030. So those are the indicators that are said to be achieved. However, we have seen that the emissions through the greenhouse gases have been increasing by nearly 1.3% every year, and there has been a surge by more than 50% in the last 33 years which has been witnessed. Also, we have seen that despite of the efforts to curtail it, there have been record high amount of carbon dioxide equivalent which has been formed, and the highest emitter is the power energy sector, followed by transportation, agriculture and industry. So this sector becomes, the power sector becomes the largest emitter, right? Then there are various programs for climate change and its mitigation. The developments have been mentioned here. The next is the energy sector, which is a primary contributor to the global greenhouse gas emissions in 2023, accounts for 68% of the emissions. There are potential capacities which talk about sectoral cut. So this focuses on highest going to power, followed by industry, transport, buildings, then agriculture and other usages as well. The next is the reports of UNEP, which talk about the deadlines for nationally determined contributions and the approach for to address the non-carbon dioxide gases like methane, nitrogen oxide and fluorine based gases. Now again an important discovery was seen, which was with turmeric. Lead has been found in substantial amount in turmeric. Maximum has been found in polished turmeric, followed by the powdered form, followed by the unpolished form, and the amount has exceeded the lead concentration by nearly 1000 micrograms per gram, which has been extremely high in the regions of Patna in India, Karachi and Peshawar in Pakistan. So this deadly affects, it mimics the calcium and accumulates in the bone, affecting the heart, kidney and premature death. Haryana has seen the lowest sex ratio, which is at 905, which was previously 923. There has been further decline even after the scheme of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. The major reason has been attributed to the fact that people are moving to the nearby areas of Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab and Rajasthan for illegal ultrasound services and abortion centers which are prevalent in those areas. The next is water diviners, which are Jal Saheli groups. Now Jal Saheli group is a group of nearly 1000 working women in the regions of Madhya Pradesh, focusing on conservation of water through Pani Panchayats, and these Pani Panchayats have brought in greenery not only in the agriculture sector but also household water through rainwater harvesting, building of check dams in the local areas, and they have also been calling this as Pani Chaupal. So Pani Panchayat, Pani Chaupal are some of the common names. The idea is simply water conservation and preservation and revival of the local river support. So the next one that we would discuss today is voluntary carbon market. Now US authority has charged the executives of Sequest Capital. Now Sequest Capital is a company which is based in Washington, which actually has been charged with manipulations of data which obtains carbon credit worth of tens of millions of dollars, and then once it obtains that, it actually shows on figure that they have been reducing the amount of carbon gas or the greenhouse gases emissions in reality, which is not the case. So there has been misleading data which has been shown for installing cook stoves in the regions of Africa and Southeast Asia. So this data manipulation for trade has been going on since long, and there have been charges around Sequest which have been in controversy. The next is the benefits of climate, and there have been 20 companies which have been voluntarily doing the carbon market between 2020 to 2023, talking about the offsets, and the list of companies have been mentioned here. Their contribution in the agriculture, chemical, forestry and different sectors have been given in the table, so you can have that in handout. But the most important thing is sometimes over crediting is because of the inflated estimates of stove. Underestimation is because of the continued use of original stove, and overestimation actually affects the fuel collection and all. The next is the patent truth. Now recently we have seen the mRNA vaccine which was widely used under COVID-19 pandemic. Have you ever thought? So Kathleen Carrico was the female behind the scene, along with the immunologist Drew Weissman. However, the story of Kathleen is very similar to Madame Curie, where she was actually not given the proper respect, and there was public hostility which was surrounding. Finally, Kathleen had to leave and now resides back in Hungary, where she teaches. The story has been same for Madame Curie as well as Kathleen. So we have seen that the role of women in STEM or the science have been very limited, mainly because of the gender parity, or we could say a male dominated setup. There have been efforts which have done to overdo this, and it is believed by 6061, that is next 4 decades, we would bring in gender parity across STEM courses and international patenting. India has the highest number of females in the STEM courses, very few in the sections on engineering. However, maximum of them related to life sciences and biological sciences, but still the names like Curie and Kathleen are not visible in the Indian scenario. The major reason is most of the females going into the higher education or the STEM courses drop off their career at certain point, and therefore they are not able to pursue their career and bring in their dreams true. However, we have one such example, Anna Mani, and her name has been less known. She is a Keralite and talks about weather and weather development. So she had a definite role in starting weather measurement systems in India in 1940s, then monitoring ozone layer. In 1964 she started with the ozone sonoid in India, which is the instrument which can measure ozone levels up to 35 kilometers above ground. So there are definite challenges that Anna Mani also faced because of the discrimination, but there has been developments despite of that. The next is the chronic poverty. Now here we have seen that because of the rising greenhouse gas emissions, there has been economic poverty or an economic cycle of poverty which is dependent on this, and that has resulted in job losses, in agricultural losses, in overall targeting the globe. We have seen that nearly 7% of the population is living in extreme poverty, and 60% of the extreme events are there to which the global population is exposed. Now these includes floods, droughts, cyclones or heat waves. Now this global exposure actually talks about an urgency to bring into light the efforts that needs to be taken to consideration to reduce or eradicate the ideas of extreme poverty. And this the study says that eradicating poverty would lead to nearly 4.7% increase in the emissions as compared to 2019. So again, it is a big issue. The next is 2024 Convention on Biological Diversity took place in Colombia, and this was in the regions of Sierra Nevada, Santa Marta mountain range, talking about conservation of biological lives or biodiversity. And through the Kali Fund, this has been brought into account, where genetic resource digital information sharing has been taken into account. There have been various efforts which has been done under the COP16. Then there was one important effort which was the Profit and Protect. So this talks about protecting the biodiversity and the nearby areas. Now Panama and Peru have similar concerns like this. So Panama has talked about full control on the funds and 10% of the allotment of the capacity building. Bolivia talks about other knowledge symbols in the other knowledge systems in the preamble. So there has been efforts to actually focus on animal breeding, biotechnology, laboratory equipments for genetic sequencing, digital sequencing of information, and so on. There have been various public databases, academic institutions, public research organizations who have been working for it. So the whole mechanism is in and around focusing on the biological diversity through the Kali Fund. Now Kali Fund is extremely important. We'll cover a lecture on it separately, so stay tuned for that. The next one is the genetically modified potatoes. Now the International Potato Center is located at Peru, and they have identified 2 different genes which are derived from Solanium venturi in Argentina, Solanium bulbocastanum in Mexico, and both of these have been involved with various GM potato contributions that have come up. The next is the new standard material transfer agreement, which talks about the World Health Organization approving the pandemic influenza preparedness framework, and this framework in itself would bring in urgent need for transparent sharing of genetic sequence, data sequence to accelerate the vaccine development in the region. Now the next thing that we would understand is the Protected Planet Report 2024. We have covered a separate lecture on it, but this talks about the global protected and conserved area, which now covers nearly 17% of the terrestrial and inland waters, 8% of the marine and coastal waters. Now this biodiversity has remained threatened with IUCN's first global tree assessment, which shows that 38% of the global trees are at the risk of extinction. So a digital sequence information has to be developed, and the users can contribute to the Kali Fund by donating 1% of their profit or 0.1% of their revenue. The next is the pharma industry and the developments around pharma industry. So how various pharma companies association has been brought about to contribute to the biodiversity conservation and sustainable use in the industry. The next important is one of the species which has been discovered in Pune, which is the jumping spider species, and this has been first described in India in 2016. The name has been given as Tekadi, which means hill in Marathi, and that is in honor of the spider's place of origin. The next is there have been new regulations under the EPA Environmental Protection Act, which talks about controls over stubble burning to reduce the amount of air pollution and bringing in fine to the farmers to a high level if paddy burning is done. The next is increasing the restrictions on agricultural export, mainly for rice, sugar, onion, and the idea is to control the domestic food prices. The next is contracting with the H5N1 virus, and there have been animals, the pets in the backyards like pigs in Oregon have been affected or contracted by the bird flu, and this detection has been alarming because this has spilled over to cows and cats in the vicinity. The next important thing is the acute food insecurity that has accelerated in 14 countries, and it is believed that by the end of next 6 months nearly 22 nations would be affected by food insecurity. Most of the important nations from these fall in the areas of Africa, and for the first time in Saudi Arabia, in the regions of Al Zafa, we have recorded that there was extremely high amount of rainfall, and as a result there was a blanket of white. Now this resulted in abundance of lavender and chrysanthemum in the region. So there has been a global climate shift where we saw Africa at one point as jungles has turned into Sahara desert. Similarly, we are now seeing that the desert area of Arabia is turning into a blanket of plants which could be seen. So those are some of the developments that we have discussed in this edition. Of course, we bring in Down to Earth every fortnightly, so stay tuned, stay with us, please subscribe. Thanks for joining in.